Moving on, we have a team of professors from National Institute of Construction Management and Research, NICMA University, Pune, joining us online. We have Dr. Polani Ghosh, Program Director, who holds an MBA in Real Estate and Urban Infrastructure Management, NICMA University, Pune, and Professor Shruti Vaishampayan, Program Director, who has a Master's in Planning from NICMA University. Dr. Polani finds her expertise in urban planning, urban transport, and real estate with a Bachelor's of Architecture from BNIT Nagpur and Masters of Planning from SEP University, Ahmedabad. She went on to do a PhD in understanding the effects of mixed land use development on quality of life from College of Engineering, Pune. With 5 years of association with NICMA, Dr. Ghosh now heads as the Program Director for MBA Studies in Real Estate and Urban Infrastructure Management. She was also the IFDM Program Coordinator, a postgraduate program in Infrastructure Finance, Development and Management.
Professor Shruti is an architect urban planner with 15 years of diverse experience of working with industry, academic institutions, and non-governmental organizations in both USA and India. She holds a master's degree in urban environmental planning from Arizona State University, USA, and is currently pursuing her PhD at the School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi. Passionate about cities and planning education, she brings extensive knowledge of urban planning, outstanding research and analytical skills, exceptional communication, academic writing abilities in her current role as an academic. Her teaching and research interests include urban housing, regeneration and redevelopment, gentrification, and valuation of properties. She also has keen interest in the areas of green buildings, environmental impact assessment, environmental management, and planning for smart, sustainable cities. She is a member of the Institute of Town Planners India and Council of Architecture. Welcome, professors. I hand over the stage.
Yes, so I can begin. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So, greetings from NICMA to all the students present here. I'm going to talk out of all our programs about the MBA in real estate program that we have over here. But before I go ahead with describing and telling about the program, little bit about NICMAR. So NICMAR is actually established by the construction industry themselves. So we are always talking about the gap in what the education institutes do and what the industry actually require. And ours is an institute which is actually established by industry people, some like L&T and Shapurji Palonji and Hindustan Construction Company. And this happened way back in 1983. Since then, in the past 40 years, we have come a long way. And as the construction industry itself diversified, programs like real estate, infrastructure, and all others have kind of got on. So at NICMAR, we have typically for master's program 5 main schools: School of Construction, School of Project Management. Our school is School of Architecture, Planning and Real Estate. Then there's a NICMAR Business School and School of Energy and Environment. This real estate program that I'm going to talk about, since this is also an MBA program, we work very closely with the Project Management School and the Business Management School over here. In our school, which is School of Architecture, Planning and Real Estate, we have mainly, like the name says, these 3 main programs: the MBA in Real Estate program, Masters in Planning, which Professor Shruti will talk about in a minute, and the Bachelors of Architecture. Before I go about telling about what is the content of this program, because the name says real estate is basically dealing with all kind of transactions or development that happens in real property. That is, you're dealing with land or buildings or development rights or underground rights, all that. So producing, buying, selling of any kind of property. So your residential, commercial, industrial, these are something like the different asset classes, and then we have some more asset classes that are developing. In India, actually, real estate sector is quite some boom. Actually, real estate is a sector that is very well recognized all over the world, and we are looking at a drastic growth rates in this sector. Every year, the number of housing units that are being designed, developed, and sold are crossing limits. So, for example, in Q3, which is July, August, and September, there is a 36% increase, like 36% increase in number of homes that are sold from what was there last year in quarter 3. Similarly, number of new launches are increasing. So overall, as the sector's demand is increasing, it's also maturing and getting more organized. So no more are people building only individual homes to live in, but we are looking at large corporates delivering houses. And then there is also other sectors that are upcoming, something like industrial real estate, warehousing is in a lot of demand, office spaces, commercial buildings, etc. Where is the space for architects in the whole real estate gamut? In fact, architects are already a part of real estate where we are designing all these buildings that are to be sold in the market. But in the real estate profession that I'm talking about, which this MBA program prepares you to be, we are looking at architects who can foresee what potential a project has in the market, what could, what would be the right mix for it, that kind of an analogies. They're very creative in the whole project development, which adds value to all these real estate projects. They already have existing strengths where they understand real estate buildings regulations. Now we are dealing with RERA and all such regulations. They also have a, actually this is surprising to a lot of architects, but they already have a lot of capacity to understand the contexts and markets that are there. So if I say real estate markets, that you don't directly relate with it, but as an architect we understand that there is something that is already existing in the city, how provision of infrastructure would affect a building, and then therefore value of a building, such kind of things. And so architects are also not very scared of learning new things because of all the studios that you have been through. So we find working with architects, I mean architects are very versatile in learning different parts. And actually this MBA in real estate program that we have, more than 50% of the students are architects. This is the kind of composition of the whole program. So the MBA real estate program at NICMAR is 15 years old. The upcoming batch in 2024 will be the 16th batch. And in this entire journey, we have updated our curriculum as per the industry requirements and feedbacks from our alumni. And right now, we sit this way. So we have, because this is an MBA program, 1/3 of our project is dedicated to lot of business management, where we cover something on finance, accounting, business decision making, marketing, human resources, and organizational behavior. So this is something that architects have not already gone through, but this is very essential. Even if you don't want to get in real estate, but you want to have some business, and having some knowledge of money and finance works very well for our projects. Then we look at the core of real estate, where we look at market analysis of real estate development. Property valuation is one of the core USP of our NICMAR MBA real estate program. We look at land and land management. So in real estate, we look at the entire life cycle of a real estate project, right from where to invest in the land, how to develop it, how to launch it, how to market it, post occupancy, facility management, and so on. NICMAR itself as an institute, we are very known for project management, and with the way our government is progressing, we are looking at more and more projects being financially and functionally self-sustainable. So project management plays a very important role. For real estate, we look at real estate project costing, etc. Then infrastructure, actually we have a very peripheral view to infrastructure. We look at how infrastructure actually supports real estate development, what does it do to the real estate market, and all the necessary infrastructure that needs to be provided. We are in the digital era, and prop tech, which is property and technology, is high on. We also have a lot of softwares that deal with project management. So BIM, MSP, Primavera, Candy, at risk, these are the kind of things that we have. Some of them are compulsory kind of courses like BIM, Primavera. Some of them are optional like blockchain. We are doing our land record management through blockchain now, big data analytics. These are more elective kind of courses. We also look at a lot of open learning from the students, because our students come from diverse backgrounds. So half of the classes, yes, architects, but then there are students who have done BBAs or engineers, etc. Things, and collaborative learning kind of helps. So I'm going to, instead of talk about the strength that we have, I'm going to kind of give some examples of how we have been doing that. So the pedagogy that we follow here is most of the curriculum is taught through tutorial, practical, and self-work. So even though there are a lot of courses like a typical MBA program, but the way we deliver those courses are slightly different, where we have a lot of group discussions, we discuss on a lot of cases, guest lectures, and all that. Yes, for example, we hosted a real estate symposium where there were a lot of guests who spoke or discussed about the issues, and students kind of participated in a competition. We have Deloitte who came and delivered an entire course on valuation for our students. Similarly, we have CoreNet. These are professional bodies in real estate who conduct classes for our corporate real estate. Our senior students, which is the second year students, are doing a joint studio with University of Denver students. So they are collaborating and working on some live projects, guest lectures. Yes, for every semester we do take up some live project, work on it. We work with the developers and kind of deliver on that project. So this is kind of the course content which prepares the students for these kind of career prospects. So basically these, you will become like a real estate professional, and there are these four main sectors where our alumni kind of engage with. One is consultancy and advisory firms, something like international property consultants. Some examples if I have to cite, JLL, Anarog, CPRE, Cushman and Wakefield, Deloitte. These are all consultancy and advisory firms who in turn give advices to real estate developers or financial institutions. The second domain where our alumni are working majorly on are the core real estate developers. Typically, we look at real estate developers either in their business development team or their sales and strategy and marketing team. Some students have that kind of alignment, or we look at project management kind of team. Then in last 5 years, the whole property valuation has picked up. We look at property valuation as something with a lot of formulas, etc. But actually, this is more worth doing for architects, because we look at a value of a property in the context or in the setting of urban setting where it is located. Then REITs and lots of real estate companies are getting listed in the market. So finances and investments um, are a pathway. And then the core of NICMAR had always been project management. So project management is, of course, one of the strengths that these professionals will develop. So these are some of the job profiles: real estate advisor, contracting and leasing consultant, customer relationships, or project coordination, property valuation executives. Let me quickly show you what our alumni are doing. So this is the batch that graduated in 2023. This was a batch that was enrolled in between COVID. So our class strength was 40. Out of the 40 students, only 39 were seeking placements. So 38 were placed, 9 in valuation, 6 in corporate real estate. That's corporate real estate is like when you take care of the real estate properties of a third party company. So corporate real estate consultancies and IP, international property consultants, technical advisory, the realtors or the developers, and in infrastructure sector. This was kind of the highest package, and average package was 10 lakhs. The current senior batch that we have, they're in the third semester now. This is a 2 years kind of program. Their class strength is also 40, of which 36 are seeking placements. 4 of them already have their own development firm. Till November, 16 of them have already been placed. Highest package over here is looking good, but more we are more in 10 to 14 lakhs is more of the average package that our students kind of seek. That's me at a site visit to Magarpatta over there. Little more about the program that I didn't go through in my sliders. So it is a 2 years typical MBA kind of program, but you can, if you complete 1 year, then as per NEP policy there is an exit policy and you get a diploma certificate at that point. There's an internship for which college provides a lot of support. So that internship is in the summer for I think 6 to 8 weeks. I think that's about the real estate program. Yeah, these are some of the companies. Thank you. Any questions, if anybody wants to ask?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello. Ma'am, we'll have the Q&A session after the
after
presentation.
Professor Shruti's session, sure.
Yes.
Shruti ma'am, I'm going to quickly stop sharing my slide.
Thank you, Pauline. Am I audible to everybody? Yes. Okay. Thank you for confirmation. Just give me a minute. I'll try and share my screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. First of all, we both thank the organizers for giving us this opportunity to talk about NICMAR and our programs. Thank you, Paulomi, for already introducing NICMAR University to all of you. NICMAR recently became a university in 2022, and ever since we have also diversified in allied areas. And the Master of Planning program with specialization in urban planning is one of the fields which we have diversified into. Given the legacy of construction management, project management, and real estate management, now Master of Planning is a newly launched program. In 2022, we have welcomed our first batch of 22 students, and it is also an ITPI approved program. ITPI is the Institute of Town Planners India. The organizers were very kind to introduce us. My name is Shruti Vaishampayan. I am an architect and an urban planner, and I currently head this Master of Planning program. Um, so, s- okay, moving on. Basically, our context itself speaks a lot about why we need urban planning and why it's becoming increasingly important. India is more than 31% urban as per the 2011 census, and we are set to become more than 50% urban by 2050. Of course, there has been a lot of work being done at the central government level. There was a very seminal report in 2021 by Niti Aayog, which talks about that we have only 7,000 qualified town and country planners, in the country, whereas there are 7,935 towns and cities, and so on. So there's a dearth of trained professionals. The Union Budget of 2023 also talks about sustainable cities, and the agenda also includes urban infrastructure development fund of 10,000 crore per annum, also scientific management of urban sanitation, waste, and so on.
Just a second, ma'am. I think your screen is getting shared only for the PowerPoint and not the presentation. That
Oh, is it?
the
I'm
slides are
sorry.
not changing. Yeah. The window that you need
Okay.
to share is the presented window.
I think that's what I did actually. Just hold on. So, window is what I need to share.
Share the entire window. The last
The
option.
entire screen. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
did actually. I'm so
But the
sorry.
presentation was not there. Actually.
Okay. Now is it visible to you? Can you confirm if my
Yes.
slides are changing?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Can you
Now.
see the slide with the black background?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks so much. So I was talking about there is need for having this urban planning capacity reformed in India. The national agenda, if you look at the central government schemes, there is smart cities, Amrut. Then there are sub schemes such as the town planning schemes, the local area plans. We want to make GIS based master plans for all our towns and cities, urban infrastructure development schemes for small and medium towns, national urban information system, and so on. So there are plenty of all these schemes that require the support of qualified professionals. So, as I mentioned, we'll be 50% urban by 2050, and the new UN Urban Agenda, the SDGs, Paris Agreement, all of these talk about planning, construction, development, and management of urban areas. And the World Cities Report has indicated that India has a grim ratio of 0.23 accredited planners, that is qualified planners, per 1 lakh population, whereas the UK has 38. So there is need to build capacity in urban planning to improve quality of life in cities. Uh, there are, of course, alarming urban challenges like we have census towns without master plans, we have inefficient utilization of urban land, we have large populations in slums, there are disasters, so disaster mitigation and management is important. There's water scarcity, pressures on fragile ecosystems, and many more. Now, what is urban planning really? So, we are trying to improve the quality of life in urban areas. So, preparation of plans for the regulation and management of towns, cities, and metropolitan regions, and land use planning, infrastructure planning. We need to plan social infrastructure. We have to plan it through different projects. So, planning projects are important, planning laws, institutional framework, real estate development. So, all these are different sectors of urban planning. The important skills of a planner. So what does a planner know? So technical skills include, critical thinking, problem solving, research, data visualization, demand assessment, spatial mapping, and all these. And interpersonal skills are also very important for a planner because he works in a multidisciplinary team. So interpersonal communication, presentation, negotiation, all these are very important skills of a planner. And where do planners work? So they work with government agencies, they work with parastatal agencies like development authorities, planning and design consulting firms, real estate developers, they work with management consultants, international consulting advisories, and funding agencies like, Asian Development Bank, World Bank, national and international non-profits. So all these are various avenues where planners work. So when we started our thought process of launching a master planning program at Nikmar University, we carried out a very detailed program validation exercise in 2022, where we actually talked and reached out to many professionals who were working in the industry as well as working in several different roles in the government and so on. So we reached to about 80 professionals and we talked with them to know what should be in a planning program. So we did a lot of expert consultations. We did roundtable discussions and industry survey. We reviewed all the existing curricula in India and abroad, and we also, of course, pursued the process of getting the recognition from the Institute of Town Planners India. So we also conducted this urban planning dialogue series, which was named as India 2047 Role of Planners. So we brainstormed with experts as to what is the role planners could play to make our cities better, and with a 100-year independence goal, that is 2047. So we carried this with different experts from the field of transportation and urban planning. We carried out roundtable discussions with different academicians from IITs and so on. And we found out that existing curricula have a few gaps that the industry highlighted, such as the area of sustainable urban development, disaster management, climate change. Even finance was one area which the industry said was lacking when, with graduates. So it includes urban municipal infrastructure and project finance, project planning, structuring, the management of projects, evaluation, monitoring, then also writing skills. So, writing technical reports, feasibility reports. Typically, in architecture and civil engineers, these skills are not developed at the UG level. So, these are also something that we really work on at the master's program. GIS and statistical software. So, all these are different areas that the existing curricula need to focus at. So we have developed a curriculum to address all of these, and this is the masters is a 2-year program. It's a full-time program recognized by ITPI. It works with the AICTE model credit system of 80 credits, and the circles in yellow, they are actually the core planning theory kind of courses, as well as we have electives that you see that are in blue here. So we cover all the sectoral aspects in planning, like we have infrastructure planning, we have land use, transportation, housing, environmental, and also something that helps students to understand the role of planners well, like planning legislation, professional practice, and we also have included the project part that came in as a gap from our study, as well as the finance part. So urban governance and finance, and project formulation and appraisal, these are also included. The list of electives is here, which also we have made an attempt to address the upcoming areas of work, like we have disaster risk mitigation and management, or even rural development, for that matter, real estate development. So these are our electives. Also something very sorry, something like water, energy, food nexus, which is a thought in sustainability. So these are the very unique electives that are offered. Of course, just as architectural pedagogy works, here we have a studio in each semester. So each semester studio looks at a planning level. So starting with a local area plan or a neighborhood or ward plan, we have it in the first semester. The second semester has a master plan of a city. The third semester has a regional or metropolitan master plan, or a special area plan, such as, say, something like DMIC corridor. So, which are different areas that are demarcated. So, you make actually master plans for them. And there are, of course, also some humanities courses that are based on economics and social values. So this is the curriculum, and I think the unique part about the curriculum is also that in the semester 4, we have kept only our thesis or professional project. So students don't have to really attend other classes, but they can focus on their professional project or thesis, and which starts actually in the third semester itself. So it's a year long process. So in the third semester they do a mini project, or they can start their thesis in this level, and then they take it to the culmination in the fourth semester. Now, so we admitted our first batch in 2023. There are 22 students. It's a mix of architects, civil engineers, and also for a planning program, even masters in geography, sociology, and masters in economics are eligible to apply. So we also have geographers in this batch, because GIS is a very upcoming area, and geography is very relevant to planning of settlements. So this is our batch that we admitted this year. We have a very good board of studies and advisory board. So you can see in the image there is Mr. Avinash Patil, who is the director of Town Planning Department of Maharashtra State. So he's also on the advise board of advisors. He also guided our students as to how they could use their planning knowledge to go into public planning system, so through your public service commission exams and so on. So planning is, as Dr. Polemy had mentioned, the pedagogy at NICMAR is more of hands-on, and planning being a very even more practical kind of subject. It requires a lot of primary data. Students go out into different areas, they collect a lot of data, analyze it, and then make plans for those areas. So that will be all from my side. Thank you. So if we could take any questions.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation. Just a question, ma'am. How is the fee structure and scholarships if that you provide, if any? So, what is the procedure with that?
Shruti ma'am, can I take this question?
Yeah, sure, please.
Uh, so for the real estate program, the fee is around 10 lakh rupees for 2 years. Now, depending on your graduation marks and 10th and 12th marks, there are some discounts in your per semester fees. So this 10 lakhs are paid in 4 semesters, and depending on your 10th, 12th, and your graduation marks, there are some discounts, like something more than 90%, something more than 80%, like that. Also, the entrance for our program is through the NICMAR common entrance exam called NCAT. So the toppers of that exam also get some kind of scholarship. Then every semester's the performance, based on that performance, the top 10% of the class, they get some kind of scholarship for the next semester.
Thank you.
I think the fees for the planning program is little different. Yeah,
Yeah, I can talk about that. So the fees for the planning program is 6.1 lakhs for 2 years. It is also to be paid in installments every semester, as ma'am said. Also, there are scholarships other than the merit based, when you enter NICMAR, there are merit based tuition waivers, but also there are scholarships based on your per semester ranking. So, if you are a top ranker, then you also get scholarships. So, that's also additional.
Thank you, ma'am.
No, I also have another question regarding the admission. So, is there a specific test that we have to like sort of finish to sort of enter these courses?
So NICMAR conducts its own test called NCAT. You can go to our admissions webpage, and you have to first register. The first round of NCAT, I think, will happen sometime in Jan or Feb. So that NCAT is a written 2 hours exam based. It's more of an aptitude test, and it is followed by personal interview and group discussion. The whole process is online.
Yes, thank you.
One more thing. So, if you have already for the MBA program, if you have already a CAT score or a ZAT score or any of those other MBA kind of scores, then you need not give NCAT. Those scores also work, but we encourage people to give NCAT because the way we do the ranking and then the scholarships and all that kind of matters differently.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, with this,
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks.
thank you, ma'am. With this, we come to the end of day one of GlobEd India 2023. On behalf of the GlobEd team, we would like to take this opportunity to thank all the speakers who have enriched the event with all the potential opportunities for us. We thank the audience for their participation as well. We hope that the sessions have aided each and every one of you in understanding the variety of possibilities to explore after BR. We thank our principal and the dean for their constant encouragement. We extend our warm gratitude to Ruchi Sagar for providing refreshments. Although we bid goodbye for today, the event is not over. We will continue this event online tomorrow from 9 a.m. We have institutions like SEPT, NID, and SMI joining us tomorrow as well. The link for the event has already been shared. We hope to see you all there. Thank you for being a part of this day, and have a great evening. Thank you.